Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State. This puts the Big 12 in a very strong position moving forward. And then we also have Oregon and Washington joining USC and UCLA over in the Big 10 after this next year. And it's really funny because you see all sorts of different opinions. You see people getting very upset that West Coast football, which aside from bringing in Utah and Colorado, the Pac has been pretty much untouched in college football realignment when the rest of the country has been used to this for years and years and years, decades rather. I mean, we go back and we talk about the Southwest Conference. We talk about the old Big East and that whole thing and how that all fell apart. Legend, it's good to see you. But I wanted to open up with this and have a lot of fun because, we've been through a lot as a society over the last handful of years, not only with college football realignment, but we've had to navigate through the pandemic. And that proved to be a very divisive issue. We still have wars going on. We have culture wars going on. We have we might have a presidential election here in the next year or so where we're going to have a battery powered Joe Biden out there possibly debating a presidential candidate in jail. I mean, come on, like we are in unprecedented times. And this is what I'm wanting to get to. You guys might find this kind of entertaining. But sorry, I'm trying to keep myself from laughing. But this question was brought up on a show that I was listening to, the Conference of Champions, yesterday, and it really sparked this whole video. But do we think that an alien invasion would bring us together as a nation? Absolutely not. With all that other stuff going on, there is no way that we would be able to come together. And I think this is what people are overlooking. The Big 12 is in prime position to survive an alien invasion more so than any other major college football conference. Now, you might be like, wow, David, what are you talking about? Like, can you explain this? Absolutely. I'm going to break this down. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can talk about the new Big 12 and how we are positioned above the SEC, above the ACC, obviously, and above the Big 10 to survive an alien invasion. So let's go ahead and go with the new Big 12 map. That way we can talk through all of this. I thought this would be a fun thing to do on like a Sunday evening. So, all right, here we go. Thank you all for tuning in. Hit that like. I mean, who else is talking about this, right? Okay. So hopefully y'all can see this. We got the new Big 12 map. Now, if we are dealing with an alien invasion, a lot of people just automatically assume, okay, David, if we're going to deal with an alien invasion, they're going to come from the sky. And I believe we do have an advantage here, especially here in the West, the Southwest here with a lot of these schools. We have Colorado, Utah, Arizona State that do have, what do you call that? Different space mechanical programs, aerospace. That's the word that I'm looking for. We do have aerospace programs to really defend ourselves from an aerial invasion. But what a lot of people don't understand is that there could be a big possibility that you might see an invasion start here from the coasts coming out from the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. Now, if this is the case, the ACC and the Big 10 and the SEC are definitely more at risk when it comes to an alien invasion from the water. Now, we do have West Virginia that's over here. But again, they have mountains. They're going to be protected by the mountains. Then we have UCF, which is a little bit more centrally located in Florida. And I think we would be okay. Now, one thing that people don't realize is that if aliens have been here for a while, the Big Ten definitely has to worry about the Great Lakes. We cannot be too naive to look past the probability or the possibility that aliens could just be chilling here in the Great Lakes for many centuries. And that's going to put the Big Ten definitely at risk. Now, another point that I wanted to bring up here is that if the aliens are looking for blood, we do have some people that we can offer up as tribute, more like a sacrifice, to get the aliens on our side, to leave us alone. Now, I'm not sure who from the Big 10 or the SEC or the ACC, who those people would be in terms of enemies within the conference. But again, we are a very unified conference, this new Big 12, these 16 teams. And really, it seems like the only school that is providing a little bit more of a us against the world. We're not going to follow the rest of the conference. We're better than you. Obviously, has to be Arizona State now, with the comments that AD Ray Anderson made about never traveling to Morgantown, and with Michael Crow essentially wanting to stick with the Pac 12, take that terrible Apple deal, but basically the rest of the board saying you're either with us or you lose your job. Michael Crow and Ray Anderson, we could offer them up as tribute to the aliens so that they would leave us alone. I think the rest of the conference, even Arizona State fans, would be very okay with that. And if that doesn't work out, if they're wanting more, I think a very nice sacrifice could be the Utah pig bus on Twitter, because of all the shit storming that he's caused over on Twitter over the last year with conference realignment, believing the Pac-12 was superior to the Big 12 and all of that. But he's not first on the list. The Utah pig bus is not the first on the list because, many Pac-12 fans, including myself, there was a period of time where we wanted the Pac to stick together and we thought it was better for us and we thought that we were better than we really were. I empathize with that position. I understand. But if the aliens need more human sacrifice, the Utah pig bus would be a worthy sacrifice. Now, let's get in and talk a little bit more about the capabilities of this whole conference, okay? If the aliens do attack us, we have many live mascots that should be hard for the aliens to take down. The one mascot that really worries me is just the horned frog. It's been hard for me to understand TCU's place in all this if we do have to deal with an alien invasion, because unlike the rest of Texas, we got the Red Raiders, we got the Oklahoma State Cowboys, we got I guess those are people. We can stick with that for right now. Those are areas of the country where people know how to use their guns. And we have a lot of people kind of within this whole area, and maybe even out in Arizona too, that love guns, that know how to shoot a lot of different guns, that can hunt. Even in Colorado, if there's plenty of things to hunt, such as elk, deer out here. Heck, we even saw Derek Wolf take down a mountain lion just a few months ago. And man, it must have been maybe 30 minutes outside of Colorado or so, or outside of Denver or so. So we do have a lot of people that understand how to use guns. And Waco. Y'all seen the movie Waco? Some of y'all are probably alive for that whole thing. And then, especially in Texas, we have Houston, but then we also have West Texas out in Lubbock. So we are equipped to fight in both urban and rural settings. You can't necessarily say that for the rest of these other conferences, right? Maybe the SEC, but I'm not really sure how the Big 10 would fare in that. That's just me. But then we also got live mascots. That's what I was going to get to. We got the Baylor Bears. They have real bears on campus. We got Ralphie, that can steamroll some of these aliens. We have the Cougars. that should be able to, from both Houston and BYU, should be able to take on these aliens along with our Wildcat schools. Now, I'm not really sure what the Jayhawks can offer. Now, I will get back to Kansas here in a minute, but we got the Bearcats, right? And then we got the Mountaineers. Those are other people that I left out, as well as the Knights, people that are trained to fight, which is what's needed if we're going to fight these aliens. Now, something that is a little bit overlooked is the weather. The weather, I guess, disaster storms or whatever we want to call them. We have the Iowa State Cyclones right here, as well as the Arizona Sun Devils. I mean, we can bring these dust storms here to the aliens, kind of wrap them up in different tornadoes and really create some issues for them. We could affect how their spacecraft are flying those UFOs with these types of windstorms that we're offering. So I think overall this conference is well equipped more than others to survive an alien invasion. But let's say, David, we're having some issues. The aliens are really giving it to us. Well, we are actually equipped very well to go to wherever the aliens are coming from and kick them in the mouth, because we do have the UCF Citronauts. That old school UCF mascot. It is an astronaut combined with an orange, and we could go to space and bring the war to them. But speaking of space, if there's one thing that I know from Space Jam, it's that aliens love basketball, okay? And we know what Brett Yormark's doing is he is building the prime basketball conference here in the Big 12. And if there is one thing that should save us from the aliens wiping us out, it is their love of basketball. And that is definitely something that we can bring apart from the rest of these other conferences that aren't nearly as good as basketball as we are. So lastly, I will wrap this presentation up by saying, if we are able to entice the aliens to lay down their laser weapons, their lightsabers and all of that, to play some games of basketball, just as they did with the Monstars and Michael Jordan and all the Looney Tunes, we can then celebrate at the best party school in the United States in all of college football. And that would be over at Arizona State. So thank you for coming to my presentation. I don't think that any other conference is more well-rounded and equipped to deal with an alien invasion, nor are they as unified as we are in the Big 12. So was this title a little bit clickbaitish? Absolutely. But I think that this was something that needed to be said, given the news that we had happen maybe a week and a half ago with Colorado joining the Big 12. We also had that big hearing in Congress where military officials were testifying about UFOs and all of that, and that went overlooked. And so if we are going to deal with an alien invasion in this new college football landscape, I think we are well positioned to do that. So thank you. I'm curious of your thoughts. Man, this is so funny. Eddie, San Antonio real estate. Welcome, Big 12. Can't wait for these next 2 years. Football will be great. Absolutely. I can't wait for it. I hope you guys got a kick out of this. I thought I would get on here and do this. This would be a good day to do that. Mike, good to see you. Why they say Nebraska is the new hub for college football and place to be. Man, I think Nebraska, they just need to make their way back to the Big 12, right? I think that, granted, I don't know what good they bring in terms of corn to fighting an alien invasion, but definitely the middle of the country, America's heartland, they got plenty of experience with different sorts of guns and ammunition, all of that. So Keg just pulled in. Looks like I missed Dave dropping some acid. Yeah. Man, I love it. And Brandon Klein, thanks for tuning in. Man, I'm just having a little bit of fun, man. Oh shit, Dave definitely ate some mushrooms, man. I wish, but it's been a slow Saturday. I've had this on my mind since I watched that podcast yesterday. But I want to know, am I missing something? If we are dealing with an alien invasion, am I missing something with how this conference should approach that? Because I think another overlooked quality about this conference is that how unified we are outside of Arizona State being pretty pissy about, falling upwards into this conference, right? Um, I'm glad you had fun, Mike. G. Brew aliens have already infiltrated ASU with Michael Crow, and maybe that's why we offer him up as the initial tribute to hold them off. So we'll just have to see. G. Brew, we got we got Roswell surrounded. Man. Keg, Dave, love your podcast. I personally am going to enjoy the Big 12 barbecue all the way. Yeah, and that is something that, again, I think we have an advantage over the rest of the other conferences, that we can offer them better food than the rest of these college football conferences, right? I mean, who doesn't love barbecue? So ASU, oh, this is a great point from Keck. Dave, ASU had hundreds of millions in research money. You'll be shocked when you come to Tempe. Man, yes. And I know that Michael Crow obviously has been getting a lot of heat for his comments lately on the Apple deal. I mean, him talking about streaming was quite funny. But yeah, you bring up a great point. He's done a great job of growing them academically. And I think, one thing that kind of separated the PAC and the Big 12, of course, was the AAU schools and the research and all of that. A lot of these traditional Big 12 schools are more land grant schools and whatnot. But I mean, you can't really say that about the Big 12 anymore now. I mean, there's a great balance of, great schools academically along with great sports. So I think that Michael Crow, he just needs to stay removed and outside of making decisions for the ASU programs, sports, for the sports programs, athletic programs, and all of that, because it seems like he's done a great job at growing the university, and they got the LA campus and all that now. And it still seems like it's a very fun place to go to school. Obviously, people still talk about it in terms of parties and everything like that, how it's always one of the top schools to be at there. But you can also get a fantastic education. So, but yeah, the comments that their AD made was just so weird and odd. I mean, I know mountain towns and maybe West Virginia kind of has this reputation of, like, I don't know, just being backwards or like, like stuck in time from way before. But I mean, it looks like a beautiful area from the pictures that I've seen, and I don't know why you would be knocking another school immediately once coming into a conference. I would be pretty upset if I was an Arizona Sun Devil seeing people in my administration making that sort of comment. So hopefully he issues an apology or he's just gone, because I saw this comment on Twitter. I mean, this is the same AD that went and fired Herm Edwards on the field. Now I know it's Herm Edwards or whatever, but other coaches, and then they're going to be thinking about that. Players, maybe, but it was unprofessional, especially for somebody who had hired, from my understanding, hired Herm Edwards to go about that way and firing him in such a, it was just such a disgusting way. So, but I'm keeping this live stream a little light tonight. Of course, I will be back talking more Buffs tomorrow, but I thought, hey, it's Sunday night. The Buffs didn't practice today. I'd go ahead and do something fun that I thought would maybe get you guys to laugh a little bit. So y'all let me know what you think in the comments. How else might we fight off an alien invasion? That would be great. That'd be great to know. So appreciate you all. Please hit that like if I made you smile. or if I made you laugh. And as always, Sco Buffs.